Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to my very first video of 2018. Here we are then. I'm in the NASCAR league, so this is the most up-to-date league hopper at the moment. Thought I'd give it a go. It was a good hopper when it came out in Forza 6. I always enjoyed the NASCAR. Let's see if it transpires here. We've got a couple of people getting punted off. One guy in the red car there. We have a war of sweets here basically, because I'm in the M&M's car and all of the red ones I think are all the Skittles cars, so we have a war between M&M's and Skittles, see which sweet is actually the best. Let's go and find out really, because that's obviously the most important thing. Now as we come down the hill, very long left here at Maple Valley, it turns out I don't actually have a tune on, so my car really shouldn't be as fast as the others because they probably do have tunes. I see a lot of people with the Thrustmaster tune, although he spoke to me and said that he wanted to upgrade or update his tune. There is a tune by F4H Handicap, which seems to be the one that most people are using right now. That seems to be the dominant one at the moment. I'm sure Thrustmaster will be working hard to try to get his good tune out. So into 5th position over the jump, or about to go over the big jump here, really tricky. And you can really end up going very far wide to the left here if you get that one wrong, as that guy has found out there on the left. So I find myself in 3rd position as we come around the very long left-hander to close out the first lap. Just 4 laps in this race, with some potential weather change some way through. So coming out of the last corner, I went in a little bit too early on that late apex that you're supposed to get. I went a little bit too early. And Zipping Rabbit here is going to get a better exit. He's through into 3rd place. Up the hill into the fast left. Going a little bit hot there. It's just started to rain. Not sure that's done enough to make a difference just yet. You can see he's all over the place, making a couple of mistakes. That is letting EVR EMT just pull away. You see that 2nd place now, a couple of seconds ahead. So that one mistake I made has cost me quite a few seconds here as a result. So coming down the fast right-hander underneath the crossover, there we go. This corner you can brake really quite late into. It's almost a misleading one. I just tap him in the back. I suppose you can't brake that late if there's someone right in front of you like I just did there. But luckily he's good enough to keep control of his car. The NASCARs are really fun to drive, I think. They're sort of like a pure, just there's not much to it. There's no, or not many electronic aids or anything. It's just a lot of it's down to driver skill, and especially so when you're not on a NASCAR. Well, when you're on a NASCAR circuit, of course, on an oval, and of course it's down to skill. But when it's on a normal racetrack like this, then yeah, it really is quite tricky to drive these cars, especially with traction control off. We've got traction control off right now, so plenty of wheel spin on the exit of corners, especially now that it's raining as well. So really going to have to keep that in check. So we're going to come around exit of lap 2, but then now halfway through lap 4 you can see the sun has come out a little bit. I've slowly gained on 1st and 2nd, not much, not enough, because it's pretty much the last sector of the race now. We are under pressure though from the guy in 4th. Only 6 of us left in the race, but a couple of decent battles. You can see on the map there's a couple of two-way battles between 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and then 5th and 6th. Coming into this jump here, just turn to the right before you go over to make yourself set up for that corner. Liam T has messed it up completely. I'm up into 2nd, and I'm on the back foot I think, because I think this guy behind me's got a tune, whereas I don't. I need to keep it really narrow here, really narrow throughout this last turn, and just completely block him off basically. And there's the hit, which I was expecting or hoping for, just by staying really narrow. And we managed to finish 2nd. I'm moving to VIR, one of the shorter configurations, starting in 4th. Plenty of Skittles cars on my right hand side. The M&M's car looks around the outside and way too far to the outside. I drive myself straight off the track. Not a good start at all, but we find ourselves now in 6th place, but with 5 laps left to do something about it. Let's try and get 1 place per lap, then that'll give me a victory. Let's see if we can do it. Into the tight little complex here. Look around the outside of this guy. He's taking a very narrow and slow line. I've done the job on him. Going around the outside comfortably up into 5th place. Through this section, through the chicane, just got to watch out for those, almost into the tyre wall there. We've seen what's happened before in previous videos. Sometimes those signs can pop out at you and pretty much molest you into the tyre wall. So you've got to be really careful. If you hit those at the wrong angle, they can mess you up in big ways. Catching up with our friend here, who we saw in the previous race. We managed to get past him last time. Let's see if we can dispatch him fairly quickly. The 2 red cars, the 2 Skittles cars, 2nd and 3rd, following the green car in the lead. Sorry, that's about as accurate as I can be right now. I'm not the best when it comes to these NASCARs, especially with, I mean, the liveries I'm not very familiar with. I don't really watch NASCAR, and I think the shells of the cars are fairly similar between the Ford, the Toyota and the Chevrolet. I mean, I can't tell the difference from a distance. Into the first corner, a little bit on the outside of Zipping Rabbit. He went fairly defensive there. That's going to be a theme of lap number 2. Trying to find our way past once again, moving to the left hand side, so really defensive. I'm going to look up the inside into the next turn. It's just going to be a narrowing gap there, so I had to back out of that one unless I wanted to make contact. So once again, looking for the cutback. There it is, just trying to make that gap open, and it doesn't quite make contact. And he just regains his composure, stays ahead, almost into the tyre wall, so close. Moves to the right hand side, goes defensive once again. Now this is good driving, I suppose. It's good racing, but we are losing time. You can see that 3rd place is now, again, a couple of seconds ahead. So as soon as you start blocking, you're kind of condemning the people behind you to finish a lot further back. And that looks to be the case for now. I suppose I could have made an early move stick, but he has been defending quite well. I've got Ivor Biggin on my tail now, so it's not good to know that the person right immediately on the tail has got a big one, just in case they do rear end you. We're coming through the final corner. I need to get a good run here so I can get a potential move into turn 1, which is often a very good place to overtake, into pretty much the sharpest corner on this track. In the slipstream, not too close. The slipstream is pretty powerful in these cars. Look up the insert. I'm going to go for lunge of the year. It is only January the 1st pretty much, but or very early January, but lunge of the year so far. Into the next corner, and we're through there just about okay. Going to try to get some way towards catching up with the top 3, although we are halfway into the race now. It might not be possible. We're taking this section very nicely. Once it all comes together, driving these cars is very nice. It's very nice to drive the NASCARs. At the end of the race, nothing quite happened. Finished 4th, disappointingly. Now we start 2nd. Watkins Glen. This is the shorter configuration. Into the first corner. I totally misjudge it. Brake a little late. I tried to back off it to let him go to the lead, but then everyone overtook me, so he just settles in behind. You can see here I've decided to switch allegiance to Skittles, so hoping that the Skittle power can actually help me or propel me to victory. I do actually prefer Skittles in real life. I don't know about you, please do comment which you think is better, M&M's or Skittles. For me, Skittles. Into the chicane, a little bit late. I had kind of half a car alongside, but not enough. So I kind of concede all the positions down into 6th place. 6th out of 6th right now, so this isn't good. But you see here, the top 6 out of 6 are all within maybe 60 metres of each other, fairly close. Into a bit more than 60 metres maybe. Into the final 2 turns then. The shorter configuration here, Watkins Glen. There's our first crash. Never too long before you hit a crash, or you see a crash. Hopefully you don't hit it, and I didn't there. So up into 5th place. Now this is where it kicked off once again. Let's go through the long right-hander onto the back straight. Ivor Biggin got pushed wide, and then he's going to come back on and push that guy. So eye for an eye there, and I just about get away from those two, and our friend Zipping Rabbit once again gets ahead of us. So an emerging trend in this video, as I drive really wide, so wide that you could probably fit the whole continent of Africa in between me and the track. And then as we come through the final corner, we've got a couple of laps here to try to regain 2nd place. Tarzan is long gone. Tarzan was really fast in this lobby, so it's going to be really tricky to try and overhaul him. and it was an easy move in the end. Start of lap 5, he went wide, and I finished second. Now this is where things hotted up, literally, because we're in Dubai, which is obviously a hot country, but in terms of the racing too, Tarzan there on the left hand side, not with the best of starts. He's gone for the FRF handicap tune, I've gone for the Slatsvella. Let's see which tuner produces the better car, or which driver produces the better race. So a little bit deep into the second turn inside the tunnel, while we still just about keep our lead. So you can see here only 5 people in the race, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a bad race. We could still have a very good race, just as long as hopefully the people you're with are fairly balanced. I've noticed that since I've gone up into elite, the people are a lot closer on ability. So I go really wide there, but I still just about keep the lead and try to pull away. It's always a good idea to really just get your head down, really pull away as early as you can, and try to pull away, get that gap, try to demoralise the opposition, although in this case I really haven't got too far away. What you want really is the guys behind to start fighting and abusing each other, so that you can kind of make the most of it. So through the final corner of the track, very long left, it does open up a lot on the exit onto this 4-lane motorway. Now this is the start of lap number 3. We skipped lap 2, which wasn't a very eventful lap, into the tunnel, turning a little bit too early, and as a result Tarzan, who's looking around the outside, gets slightly pushed wide, obviously unintentional, as I just kind of pushed into the wall. Now on the exit, once again riding that contact. Sometimes you have to do that. I'm not really braking or anything, I'm not brake checking him, kind of just holding on the apex and just blocking them basically. I'm not driving any slower than you normally would, but just parking it there, just to absolutely make sure that they don't overtake you on the exit of the corner. So sometimes just getting that contact is a good thing, because you know that they're not going to be able to overtake you just after, unless they somehow have some nitrous oxide boost. Now onto this long left. This one is a very tricky corner. There's a massive bump there, and then into the chicane towards the end of the lap. Almost, well, I kind of did squeeze him, gave him just about a car width though, through the chicane on the exit. This is actually quite a cool little track, this one. I don't mind this configuration at all. It's the long full configuration of Dubai with the really long windy turns, which isn't as good. I think this one isn't too bad though, and it's proving to be a fairly entertaining race here as we come down the hill into the tunnel. Very fast, fearsome left-hander. I've taken it a lot better that time. Once again actually, I went into the wall, I slowed myself down, and Tarzan right into the back of me. So not the best driver for me, but somehow I still find myself in the lead. So it's hotting up here. Tarzan is being very patient. He's waiting for a good opportunity to get past. He's not going to just push me out of the way. He's waiting for the right time to pass. He's still got a lap and a half to do it. This is a difficult corner to get right. Look for the signpost on the left hand side. There it is. Brake just before it. You can see they're just getting to the apex very nicely actually. Pretty much perfectly done. Down to first gear there. Not many gears in these NASCARs, so first gear is actually quite commonly used for a lot of the slower corners. Now through the long left, well, it's not really a long left at all really, is it? I don't know what I'm talking about. Into the chicane. I'm going to get this one nicely done. Use the track limits on the outside. Now he's right on my tail. This is going to be where we can compare the two tunes, because I think he's definitely been quicker. I did get away on lap 1, but he really reeled me in quite quickly on lap 2 and 3. Crossing the line into the final lap of the race. I'm going to go semi-defensive, making him think twice if I go for the move. He pulls back out to the normal racing line, and he comes through with what I must describe as, honestly, one of the best moves I've seen in a very long time. Once again, I was about to say the best move of the year, but it's only early January, so it probably is the best move of the year so far. But it is one of the best moves I've seen in a long time, because he just put it in there. There wasn't much space at all, and he made it happen. Up the inside though, through the long right, he's just going to get sucked off by the sand. Wow, getting sucked off by sand. I actually get sucked off by sand here as well. You can see that. It's an unusual type of sand which likes to do weird things to you. So I find myself back in the lead somehow. He kind of just got drawn out a little bit wide there, and just got pulled off. Wow, this is really wrong what I'm saying here. But anyway, I'm going to come through the final chicane. It was strong driving, strong defensive driving, shall we say. I'm going to come through to win. We did actually speak together, myself and that Tarzan guy, and he was he kind of said, yeah, just made a mistake, went wide onto the grass or the sand. But it was a really good race, and that overtake he did, that was a really good move, really good move. How he put it through there was pretty much only space for his car and nothing more, and he just made it work. So that was a really good move. But there we go, guys. Welcome to 2018, bit of NASCAR action. I'm going to be playing this a bit more, this NASCAR hopper, because I'm enjoying it. And hopefully there'll be more people when I race next time, because I raced quite early in the day, New Year's Day, so that's a good reason why many people didn't want to race. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching as always. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.